Ooh, I like that a little bit. I'm sorry I'm squinting, but the sun is literally in my face. Pretty bird. Pretty bird. I'm outside in the car because, of course, as soon as I wanted to press record, the dog started barking. So here we are. The sun is very brightly in my face. Let me lock my door for someone get me. Not that they want to return my ass, but I don't want to risk it. Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. I'm in the car today, as you can see, because it was a dog in the house barking, and I didn't want y'all to hear that because it was in my first video. When I was editing it, it pissed me off. So we're outside. I parked where the sun is so that I can have some good lighting, but now it's like OD lighting, but we're gonna rock with it because why not? I think my first video was survival, my second video was execution, and this video is alignment. That second video that I just posted was basically about me moving, about me doing things I've been putting off, about me proving to myself that I could do those things, proving to myself basically that I could follow through. But all that movement made me shortly realize that without alignment, that just leads to burning out. So this season was about moving at a pace that allows me to finally become the person I wanted to be, just slowing down enough to really make sure I was becoming her. I think the last video I ended in August of 2025, so we're gonna start in September now. So September, two things was happening. One, my baby's birthday is in September. Happy birthday, Mookie! I just gleeked. It was my baby's second birthday. Kamira's pregnancy was one of the hardest seasons of my life, and I mean that mentally, physically, emotionally. I was the loneliest I had ever been. I was dealing with prenatal depression and anxiety, preeclampsia, and I was still having to raise Kamari, and he was little himself. That was like straight survival. Nothing about that moment was thriving at all. At one point, my doctor was like, if you don't stop this stress, you and the baby could die. I mean, not to be dramatic or nothing, but like, that's what she said. She was like, listen, y'all can pass the fuck away. Anyway, let me watch my mouth. I don't know if I'm gonna leave that in there. So I went back home to Florida. My mom came and picked me up. We stopped in North Carolina to say hi to my siblings, and I went on about my way. I was 6 months pregnant. I had Kamari. There was fear. There was uncertainty. There were a lot of moments where I didn't know how I was going to make it through. And through all of that, she was there. Before she even entered the world, she was experiencing everything I was experiencing. Kamira went through that whole season with me. Like, Kamari went through it with me too, but Kamira was like in me. Like, physical proof that there was somebody, like, you're not lonely. There is a person inside your body right now. She was just connected to me in a way that no one else was at that moment. Every fear, every tear, every thought, like every feeling she felt. So her birthdays were always more than birthdays. Her birthdays were proof that we survived together, that we made it through something really hard together. 2 years later, she's 2 and I'm still standing, and I'm in a much better position, standing stronger than I've ever stood. A whole nother year of her being here, and a whole nother year of me being her mama. And in that same month, I finally became a licensed wax technician. The paperwork, I got it right, got it together. They sent me a little thing in the mail that said, Naisha Holly, wax technician. Holding that license felt different than any other accomplishment that I accomplished before, because this time I didn't just survive something. I didn't just get through something. I didn't just push through it. I completed something. I showed up, I followed through, I passed, and I earned it. So that month, it was like two things happened at once. I was celebrating a new year of my baby's life and fully stepping into a new version of my own. That was the moment everything stopped feeling so temporary. That same month, also something happened. I lost the connection that I was in. And it affected me a lot more than I thought. And not in no like dramatic way. Like, I won't crying, I won't heartbroken, I won't sliding through walls, clenching my pearl. It was a little heavy. But it slowed me down in a way that I needed to be slowed down. Usually when I'm talking to somebody and we stop talking, I'll just like talk to somebody else. Like, why the heck not? So like, I'm always distracted by other people, by other connections. So this time I felt like I needed to replace that connection with a connection with me, with a connection with myself. So that's what I did. I started building a connection with myself. working on myself mentally, working on myself physically. What felt like a loss became another thing that aligned me. And that's also when I started taking my relationship with God seriously. Not just showing up, but like actively seeking him, actively seeking his presence, actively seeking his guidance. By October, your girl started putting that little wax license to where I was still raising the kids, I was still working at Tuckaway, but now I started putting myself in rooms that match where I was going, not who I was, or rooms I already put myself in. That's when things stopped feeling emotional and they started feeling intentional. After October, nothing flashy really happened for the rest of that year, and that was fine with me. I kept working, I kept showing up at the daycare, I kept showing up at the wax room. Like I said, I started taking better care of myself physically, emotionally, and spiritually. Not loudly, just consistently. I stopped entertaining distractions that pulled me out of alignment. I did. I'm even practicing a little bit of abstinence. Is that what it's called? Abstinence? Celibacy? Yeah. How long am I on? 5 months strong. Crazy work, but we're here. Instead of chasing the next thing, I finally learned how to breathe between the blessings. Like, when they say stop and smell the flowers, they mean it. So I needed to stop accomplishment. Like, every time I accomplished something, I was like, okay, what's the next? What's next? What do I do next? What do I accomplish next? I needed to focus on becoming steady. So that season from the outside looking in didn't look flashy. It didn't look cool, but it was definitely needed to change what was on the inside. So from October to now, which is February, I've been building quietly, getting my mind right, getting rid of any bad habits or old habits that could lead to bad habits, getting my vision clear, rejecting things that will pull me back into a cycle I'm trying to break, getting into my word, getting into that Bible. Yes, ma'am. That's why this season feels different, because I'm not scrambling anymore. I'm standing on a foundation I actually built. And I'm not that type of person that can just show up on camera no matter what's going on in my life. When life is lifing and that flight or fight mode kicks in, oh baby, your girl is in isolation. I will isolate so quick, because that's all I knew. That's all I knew how to survive when things got overwhelming, was to handle it myself. And that made me think I could never do YouTube, like be a creator. Like, that made me think I was bad for it. But I don't think that anymore. I just think that that means I'm human. No matter the season, YouTube was always something I turned to. And I always wanted to be a YouTuber because, like I said, I've been alone a lot of my life. Like, talking to myself is something I've always done. So I always felt like I'd be good at it, because instead of talking to myself, I could talk to myself, but talk to a camera that could be other people. At the lowest states of any depression I had, from like when I was younger to recently, watching vlogs has always been an escape for me. It was the only place life felt lighter, because I was basically going into their life. Like, I was stop thinking about what Naisha was going through and start thinking about what that person was going through. It was like a distraction from my own world. YouTube quite literally saved me. Like, a lot. I know that sounds dramatic, but I'm being so serious. I wanted to start then, but my life was objectively bad. Nothing about my life at any moment, even now, felt shareable. So I kept telling myself, I'll start when it gets better. I'll start when life gets better. When things are stable. When my life looks how I want it to look. And I realize now, waiting for the perfect moment was never the right move. Life never pauses for you. Life doesn't just pause for you to get camera ready. So I'm starting now. Exactly where I am. Exactly how my life looks. Chaotic, confusing, and questionable. Right now, I'm in between versions of myself. Between the girl who was just surviving and the woman I'm stepping into becoming. I'm literally on like an identity shift. I'm not at rock bottom, but I'm not at the finish line either. And I'm hoping, not forcing, just hoping one day when I look back at this video, I'm gonna be like, damn, we really got there. Like, we really became that girl. And don't get me wrong, I love the old me. I don't miss her, but I love her. I'm proud of her for holding it down long enough for me to get where I needed to be, which is me right now, the in-between girl. She carried a lot so that I wouldn't have to carry it forever, but she could rest now, because she can rest. She doesn't have to keep surviving, because I'm taking over from here. And one day when the time is right, I'll lay this version of myself down too, so the woman I'm becoming can fully step forward. All while still being a mommy, of course. Now listen, I love my kids very deeply. That part is very unquestionable. But I became a mom before I truly knew who I was. So a lot of me growing up was during times I was already responsible for somebody else. So I'm not choosing myself over my kids. I'm basically choosing myself for my kids. Not instead of them, but alongside them. My kids don't need a burned out version of me. They need a whole version of me, a healed version of me. So that while they're finding out who they are, I can find out who I am and I can help them along the way. And I feel like that's not truly said out loud enough. I'm rebuilding every aspect of my life, not just financially, not just mentally, emotionally, career-wise, personality. Like, I'm rebuilding all of that right now. Some days I feel clear and motivated. Other days I'm tired, I'm emotional, I'm questioning everything, I'm overwhelmed. And both can exist. So this channel is not about me teaching, preaching, or pretending I have the answers to life. It's just me navigating my own life and documenting it. If you're watching this and you feel like you're in between versions of your life or yourself, if you feel behind but still hopeful, if you're tired of performing growth instead of actually growing, you're not alone. 2024 was survival for me. 2025 was execution. But this year, 2026, is alignment. This is the first year I'm not trying to control everything. This is the first year I'm giving it to God. And it's not because I'm lost. It's just because I'm finally ready to trust. This channel is about becoming who I was always meant to be. So welcome to Becoming 9. Bye!